Falcons fans, welcome in. It is episode 38 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, an Atlanta Falcons fan cast. My name is John. I'm your host, as always, joined by my co-host, Mike Cottrell. What's going on, bud?
I'm out of my Falcon mind, man. Here with my man Yates. My man Yates, for those on YouTube that can see, freshly, he's dripped out in a fresh Matt Ryan jersey, fresh out the packaging. I mean, you can smell the 2-day shipping on this jersey. I'm talking about the black is black, the white is white, the red is red, fresh out the packaging. Atlanta Falcons Matt Ryan jersey. I love it. Out of my Falcon mind. I love it, buddy.
Dude, I just cut the tags off. It's it is the Falcons. I did not go buy Colts just yet. My wife does. It's on the way, so it'll be here any day now.
In the same household, the Falcons and the Colts jersey, husband and wife. Y'all top that on Twitter. If y'all can beat that, y'all let me know. But I'm out of my Falcon mind. We got the most special guest today. He's out of his Falcon mind all the time, John.
Yes, sir. So yeah, Mike, you and I, we drag Twitter a lot for some of the personalities, people, takes, all that stuff that you see. But occasionally, you do come across good folks, and we've done that. We've had some people on the show, DW from the Falcoholic, or I guess formerly of the Falcoholic. Breaks my heart.
Breaks mine too. Come back.
Yeah, man. Pound for pound guys, Toby and JR, they were great.
Loved it.
Yeah. So this guy, he started listening to us early on, probably right after, not too long after we got off the ground, and just kind of, you just mesh with some people, man. And like some of his tweets, was like he was in my head, and vice versa, I think. So it was cool. So right from the start, man. So without further ado, Saivion Mixon, fellow Falcons fan, host of SBS Podcast, Sacrifice Breeds Success. What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all boys? What's going on, man? I'm so doggone excited to be here, man. Thank y'all for letting me on, man. Let's rock it out. Let's do it.
That's right. I'm happy to have you here, man. I'm happy to have you here. And so before we even get started, y'all need to go to his Twitter, man. What's your Twitter real quick?
LWOS _ Mixon, MIXSONS. I promise something else that's a little less complicated, but for now, that's what it is.
For all you gamers, now I'm not even a gamer. I just want to let you know, I was on his Twitter feed. It's a gaming PC on his Twitter feed that's like nothing you ever seen. This is all gamers. If you Twitch, if you do play Matt, whatever you do, go on his Twitter feed, go down the Twitter feed and look at this $1,500 gaming system that he found. It's like holographic. It looks amazing. You said on Twitter you didn't know if your wife was going to let you get it, man. I think we should all lobby his wife and tweet at her, slide in her DMs to vote, to nag her to buy you that for Christmas. I thought it was dope.
That could possibly backfire.
Yeah, it would. It would. But I thought it was dope. So, man, tell me you're gonna really get that one day, man.
One day I will.
One day.
I'm gonna need that, because the way it looked, the RAM it had, the freaking, oh my God, the colors that it just showed, I see it in my living room right now.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. That was amazing. And I'm not even a game. I thought that was amazing.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm gonna have to do something to get that.
Before we get started, I gotta ask you, speaking of game, and you play Madden, right?
Yep, Madden and 2K. Those are my two.
All right, and you play with Atlanta, am I correct?
Got to, man. Got to.
Is it impossible to win with our Atlanta Falcons squad, or are they one of the better teams? Or are they in the middle? What is it? Are they just
they're not
trash?
One of the better teams. You stop.
John and just comment. See how I tried to be optimistic, but John just came in and said no before we even.
We're a show of honesty, man.
No, man, that's it. Not even on a video game. Come on, one of y'all tell me that we can. Okay, hold on. Now, both of y'all play Madden with the Falcons. Is there a highlight of our team on the video game?
Yeah, number 8.
Matt Ryan good?
Yeah. It's decent.
Okay.
It's scrambling. It's the speed's not exactly that good. And then if he's got to be scrambling because our line is shit. So
yeah.
It doesn't look good. His throw on the run is not there, and so
throw on the run is not there. Sorry, Maddie, you need to talk to the creators of Madden. We didn't do it. We love it though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, that's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to know if we were trash on video games as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Well, man, before we even get into like more Falcons talk, Saivion, I want you to tell everybody about your podcast, SBS, and who's on it with you. How'd you guys get started? You know, all about it.
So the SBS podcast, I mean, I started that with my boys, Avery and Nelson. Shout out to my dogs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We decided to start the SBS podcast because we wanted to make a safe space for people that they can just be themselves. We wanted to have a community of diverse opinions. And honestly, I really just wanted this to be an escape from the madness of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like for us to just kind of sit here, talk about some things, and really just be a community of people, whether that's through Twitch, whether that's through podcasting, whether that's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. We wanted to make people feel comfortable with who they are and make people feel safe in a time where there's not really many safe places. So, and I built this with two guys, my boys, Avery and Nelson, that I would go to war with any day. I mean, any day. And I know they go to war for me. So it was just, it just came together. And I mean, we kind of just jumped in. So, you know, it's not exactly all polished and whatever, but I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot of fun. And we just come grow with us, come build with us, come let us know what you want to know.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Avery and Nelson. So let's start there. Two is, man, y'all go over there and have a constructive conversation. I love it. Well, you go over there. A whole lot of y'all just get on and spew your opinion. And you don't get to bounce it off for anybody else and kind of learn. You get to go have a constructive conversation on a topic, and you might always learn something.
Yeah, man. Speaking of jumping in, I mean, we did the same thing. I mean, you know, we just, you know, our first episode, we're kind of like feeling our way through, you know, doing the intro and everything. And we were like, man, and we thought it came out pretty good, you know, like decent, you know, and because, you know, like, you know, Mike and I, like, we've known each other for a while. So, I mean, you know, like we're comfortable with each other. So we can just kind of flow back and forth. Cause, you know, I'm sure you know Saivion, like, cause you couldn't just do this with like any of your friends, right? Like you've got to know that the dudes or the dude that you're doing it with, like, you know, because there's times like I can look at Mike and he knows and he'll start spewing like saying and vice versa. Like, you know, the worst thing is like you're recording and you're like waiting on somebody to say something. You're staring at them and they're not saying anything.
I just look at you.
I lobbed it to you. I need you to dunk it. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know, it's but you know, like I said, man, I've enjoyed it from the first episode you guys had, man. It's like different topics. Like I said, there's fun topics. There's serious topics. I mean, you guys, I mean, like there was a whole episode on social work, which I did not know about.
You should get her thing on that one. I think I still have my pad of notes. I can't find it right now, but I had a whole pad of notes that I was just like, okay, so this is what I went to school today. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there was a thing. I'll do the thing on women's history, on Black history. On each one of the guys picked a figure in Black history, and that you know this doesn't get talked about a lot, but just amazing stories. Like I had no idea people should probably know about. So I mean, it was man, I've enjoyed it. And then of course last week went into the Will Smith incident along with a few other things. And appreciate the shout out on the show last week as well when y'all got into the. They talked about basically, athletes and ownership and, how that relationship goes, you know what I mean? So, of course.
I appreciate the Manscaped shit you did.
That too.
Hey, man, I really appreciated that. I thought that was dope. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, it wasn't no doubt. I saw it and they were like, that we're looking for a podcast sponsor. And I'm like, what better podcast is there?
Then out of your Falcon mind. I really appreciate it. I really thought that was dope, man. I really did. I really do.
No problem. Right.
So, Mike, I know you got before we move, because we haven't talked about
before we go on, I just got to get Will Smith real quick. I just wanted to say this, that I admire Will Smith as an actor. I even love some of the things he says. I think he's a very mentally strong, positive person. But what Will Smith did at the Oscars, I thought was I didn't think that was manly at all. I heard so many women that were proud of him and say, oh, well, he stood up for his wife. And I just want to make a few points really quick. First of all, you laughed at the joke. So you can't laugh at a joke and then get mad at a joke seconds later because your wife didn't like it. You thought it was funny and harmless. Two, man, for Will Smith to go up on stage and smack Chris Rock. If y'all know, like I know, man, this lady has been on TV. She cheated on this man. This lady has claimed being a hoe. People have called her a hoe. People have said way worse. She's in a lot of rap songs in a derogatory manner. She's a whole lot of radio hosts have dragged this lady. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of famous people have made jokes. To a whole lot of athletes have made a joke when she was cheating on him with August Alsina. Everybody knew that. It was all out. Everybody made really nasty jokes about his wife. That man didn't have any comeback or comment for any of that shit. He never said anything. So to give me, which I thought was all right, cool, but then keep that same energy with a comedian, Chris Rock. To have that energy for Chris Rock and to not have it for anybody else is sucker shit. I never respected people that were convenient gangsters. Do not get gangster when it's somebody who you can impose on, and when it's a fair match, now you don't want to do it. See, he couldn't have slapped Rick Ross or a rapper because he'd have got the shit beat out of him. But you feel like you can slap Chris Rock. And I thought, just as your peer at Oscars, to have Denzel, Tyler Perry there, to have Jay-Z there, and Chris Rock, all y'all dressed up nice. This was a Black excellence moment. You was gonna win an award. It was your first one. Chris Rock was the host. For you to ruin that for a joke that I don't even think Chris Rock made about a disease. When that man got slapped, the first thing he said was, oh, I didn't even know. No, he said it was a G.I. Jane joke, which told me, like, I was making a haircut joke. I just see she shaved her hair low, so I was poking fun of that. I don't think Chris Rock would have made a joke if he knew that lady had a disease. But I don't know. I just don't think he would have done that. It was a haircut joke. And for you to get mad at that and go on stage and hit him, I thought was way too far. And then I want to say something else. To go up on stage and hit him, slap a man in his face, and it's unexpected. And the worst thing he do is take one step back and then laugh. I would call you a name, but I think you called it yourself by slapping instead of swinging a punch. Like, I don't know what you, and then you walked off like you was bad. You slapped a person. To slap your peer, I think you handle that off screen. Even if you offended, you handle that off screen backstage. So the ceremony is still classy. Everybody's dressed up. It was a big night for everybody. And I think you cheapened it and you made it about yourself. Then to make an apology to the Academy. Did you slap the Academy? If you slap me and you apologize to the Out of Your Falcon Mind podcast, I'm probably gonna fuck you up because that's not genuine. You slapped me. You didn't slap John or the logo or the Matt Ryan jersey or like iTunes. You slapped me. Get on stage in front of everybody, like you slapped him in front of everybody. Record a video apologizing to that man personally. For you not to do that, I have no more respect for you. Love you as an actor, but have no more respect for you picking and choosing. I stand on principle. So whoever violates the principle, I'm reacting to. I don't stand on, if he's a big dude, I'm peaceful. If it's a little man, now I'm Tupac. Don't do that shit. I don't like it. But that was all I wanted. I love Will Smith and Chris Rock, but I just think that it was embarrassing as a race almost. Like, to watch my two guys go up. These dudes are like two of the most classy, giant, sweet, talented dudes we got. And to be on stage rumbling in any kind at the Oscars, it wasn't the Source Awards. It wasn't the Vibe Awards. What you thought this was, man? That it was the Oscars. Jay-Z and Beyonce was there. Like, just, come on, man. Zendaya was there. You don't slap nobody in front of Zendaya.
You don't slap nobody in front of Beyonce.
Yeah, see? You don't slap nobody in front of Beyonce, bro. This is Black royalty here. All of them are dressed nice. Denzel was there. This is, it means something. It should mean something to y'all. And it should, I thought it was classy, man. I thought it was a classy event. I thought everybody was dressed nice. I don't know why he had to take it there. But Saivion said he has a unique perspective on this topic as well. So I'm dying to hear, buddy.
So one of my so I went to my barber the other day, and I wanted to get his viewpoint on it because number one, this guy is one of the smartest guys I've ever heard before in my life. He's said he's read the entire Bible, read the Quran all the way through. I mean, it's ridiculous the knowledge this guy has. But I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, I mean, just seeing. I mean, I just feel like, you know, we just, it was just not a good look for Black people, and I'm like, it was a guy slapped another guy. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, it happened at the Oscars, but it's not that big of a deal. And I didn't realize that I had the privilege of saying that it's not that big of a deal because somebody like him who grew up with Chris Rock and Will Smith as heroes, as role models. I mean, both of them went into mainstream media and showed, hey, we can do this too. You know, and it was just like seeing Will Smith slap Chris Rock to him, he said was like, I mean, it was like seeing two heroes fight each other over something that was so minuscule, something so small. And it was just like, it almost felt like a slap in the face to him. And I was just like, wow, that is not something that I even thought about. Mm-hmm. You know, I just really wanted to give a shout out to my barber. His name is Dale, and he absolutely, he gave me a really good way to think about that, and I really appreciate his line of thinking.
Shout out to Dale the barber.
well, dude, Mike, you know, I didn't even think, to be honest with you, like this whole time, like I never thought about. I kind of thought like Saivion, like it's just two dudes, mm-hmm. like the black. Mm-hmm. I never even considered that mm-hmm. aspect of it.
Yeah,
you know, and then I mean, maybe it's just the way that I'm wired.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, of course, there's going to be that sect of white people that are like,
yeah,
see,
yeah,
you can't,
yeah,
you can't. I mean,
you can't invite them anywhere.
Can't take them anywhere. Look, this shit just keeps happening.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, and, you know, and those people are idiots. You know, so that's. Yeah. But I mean, but there is, of course, that aspect. But I never even thought of it like that. But yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, I can see that. I can see it though. I mean,
just because, and the reason why I say that is, very few of those people are qualified to set the example for us. Mm-hmm. So when one of those few people do that shit, all we got is rappers and everybody who just look like me. So when you up there, conduct your, like you what we aspire to be, you don't everybody look like me and everybody rap and they shoot a basketball. Y'all are the few that even in conduct of your personal character, of your personal self, we admire y'all and we respect y'all and y'all, they black royalty. So to do that, it was just embarrassing. It was like watching your grandfather slap your other grandfather. It's like, yeah. It's like you taking them back, like y'all supposed to be past this. This is for us to do, or this is what's for us to be ignorant. But y'all are supposed to be setting an example for us. Y'all shouldn't be, y'all are supposed to handle that privately. And I thought they didn't. I love Chris Rock and Will Smith, but that was embarrassing.
Yeah, man. And I mean, that I guess there was two, I guess, positive things that came out of it. The memes, number one, were hilarious.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah. And two, Chris Rock's stand-up is like going through the roof.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to go hear, you know, him talk about it, you know.
So, and I got one thing for Will Smith. Please, I'm going to ask you, Will Smith, if you're slapping people, slap Arthur Blank just one good time. I love him. Just he old, so not hard, but you didn't hit Chris Rock hard. He only took a step back and laughed. You should be ashamed of yourself. So you need to hit Arthur the same way for how he handled Matt. Yeah, that's all I need you to do. And I ain't know you were slapping people. I got a few people if you slapping people, but yeah.
You send those over.
Just pop Arthur Blank one time for me.
Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, so Will Smith, Chris Rock, y'all make up.
Yeah.
Don't be assholes.
Let's talk Falcons.
Let's get there. So Saivion, man. So you are from Jacksonville, Florida, my man, right?
Duval. Yes, sir.
All right, so explain to everybody how you became a Falcons fan, why you became a Falcons fan, and how the hell or why the hell you continue to do so through the years.
He had the now before
and
you begin.
That may not be an answerable question. That may be just.
And before he began, the man had the option of being a Miami Dolphin fan. Ooh, all the beach, the stadium is amazing, right? He could Jacksonville Jaguars fan, right? He could have, he could be he could just not like football and be a Miami Heat fan. This man chose voluntarily, he wasn't under duress, no gun, wasn't no hostage situation. Voluntarily picked the Atlanta Falcons. So we got to hear the story. How did that happen?
So the person that is in charge of what is what I can only call helplessness at this point is Michael Vick. Michael Vick brought a form of football that I just was not accustomed to seeing. Somebody explosive in that, just exciting to watch every single week. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Of course, at the time, I was too young to understand that, he was, not very fond of the people of Atlanta at the time. All I saw was the on-field stuff. And the on-field stuff was crap.
Yeah.
Wait, so how old were you?
Let me see. Born in 1996. That was about 2004. I have to say 9 or 10.
So watching Michael Vick. Yeah.
Michael Vick, and I mean watching him, Warwick Dunn, and I think Algie Crumpler. Loved Algie.
Algie Crumpler. Good shout out Algie Crumpler. First person to say that on the show. I love it.
Oh my God, I loved Algie Crumpler. But I loved watching that offense, and it was just ridiculous to watch. And I was like, wow. Plus that red and black, you can't go wrong with that red and black.
Can't go wrong. The baddest jersey. I always say the baddest jersey in the land.
The meanest jersey, man. But why I'm a Falcons fan now, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. No idea. I feel like there was a thing that I just read about. I can't remember what it's called. I think it was something like such and such helplessness. Can't remember what it's called. But like learned helplessness. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
A dog is sitting there, or like an animal is sitting there, and he keeps getting shocked over and over again, and there's nothing that he can do. Mm-hmm. Even when he's out of that environment, he just feels like he just takes the pain. Like whatever. I'll just live with it. That's how I feel at this point.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny. I just thought if we switch from rise up to learned helplessness, that would be hilarious. And everybody just mildly clap, very slow clap.
Yeah.
Learn. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. So
and he stayed loyal. See, this is the Falcon fan I like. We got a lot of Falcon fans when we was in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And they since gone, and that's how people root for teams now. They, if you want a good team, to be a Falcon fan, you got to be a real Falcon fan because we rarely get to the playoffs and we rarely win. So that is
until Matt.
For that. Until Matty Ice came, and then Matt turned it around. And the people of Atlanta, you dirty motherfucker. I'll leave that for another fucking. I'll be mad about that.
By the way, before I get onto the poll we did, dude, we've got a lot of love for that farewell Matty Ice
I love it.
So I've had a few messages, and like I'm gonna read the email in a second too. So if y'all haven't heard the farewell Matty Ice, go back. This is episode 37. Give it a listen. So, but I did do a poll on Twitter just to find out. Just curious, how people became fans. So one option was born into it. One option was picked as a kid. One option was a certain player, or the other one was other. And please explain yourself for this one. So we had 46 votes, and 48% was picked as a kid.
Yeah.
So still young enough to not know what you're really doing.
Yeah.
And then we had born into it 9%. A certain player was 33%, and then the other, man, we had some hilarious. So just going through some of the responses, Dion was about 2 or 3 of them at least.
Told you that was mine.
I know. Yeah, and then we had, of course, Saivion said Mike Vick. So dude, John Snelling says, for me, it was the first NFL game I ever went to, which I went was the Falcons versus the Packers in the NFC Championship game. Now, what a hell of a first game.
That was a hell of a, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he said, I've been a Falcons fan ever since. So, I mean, I guess that was maybe the best game we've had in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, just.
And shout out whoever took you to that game. That was a hell of a gift. Shit.
Yep.
For your first game.
Mm-hmm. And then we had Colin Butler said, picked it as a kid and it was the worst decision of my life. And I am putting taking back the girl that cheated on me into that consideration.
Goodness gracious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's a good one. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then our buddy Ski Shepherd put the Falcons demolishing the Seahawks in the playoffs 2017 was my first football game that he ever watched. And watching that with my friends got me into football and the Falcons. It was also a good game.
Yeah. He's hilarious. Y'all got to go over there and check his Twitter out. It's hilarious.
Yeah. He did say I was kind of lucky I didn't see the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very lucky on that one. Yeah. And this dude says, my brother got pissed when I beat him with the Falcons and Madden when they were like 68 overall in 2010. This is Cole Barkley.
That's hilarious. That's a good one.
Yeah. So it became a running joke until I knew the whole roster front to back and owned the jersey.
Damn, that's a good one. I love that one. Yeah.
Yep. And then our buddy Falcons Corner, which by the way, had no idea he's from Ireland. He writes a blog on the Falcons online on Twitter. Yeah. Man.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah.
Had no clue. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he said 2011 season, I'm from Ireland, so we'd only get Sunday night game on terrestrial TV. They'd show highlights of all the other games at halftime. Falcons at Colts, Julio Jones caught my eye. And I chose the Falcons. He scored 2 brilliant touchdowns. Didn't know anything about the team other than that.
I love it. Damn, these are good. Yeah. And Ireland, shit.
I mean, yeah, Julio. It's funny. I listened to Sports Talk here in Atlanta. And I remember driving around when Julio was a senior in high school, and one of the sports guys talking about like, man, there's this kid who's committed to Alabama, and he's just a different dude. He goes, I've seen him. He's like in high school. He's like a man amongst boys. Y'all gonna have to wait to see him in Alabama. And I was excited because, of course, me being an Alabama fan, I'm like, damn, I can't wait. So, and man, he wasn't lying, man. He Alabama, he was a beast. And then you just look at him, and when he was healthy at his prime with Atlanta,
maybe. Man, arguably top 3, top 2 ever to do it. And I'm dreaming of him going to the Colts. Just one last time, I want to see it. Even for one, I feel like he'd be good over there. Their chemistry is unmatched. I would love to see it. And I want them to have every record Steve Young and Jerry Rice got right now. I want the records. And I want Peyton Manning and Marvin to go. I want Julio and Matt to be the number 1 ever. So go to Indiana, Julio. I would love to see it.
His prime has to be, prime was elongated for so long. Yes. I think that's why he's so revered in Atlanta, because he was just so dominant at the receiver position for so long. Like he was from 11 to, I want to say 19. He basically kept
a long time
in production basically the entire time. That's disgusting.
Man, I was watching the NFL Network one time, and they got the top 10 corners in the NFL, and they was interviewing them. They was all in the same room, and they asked them all, like, who would y'all say is the most difficult person to cover? In unison. I'm talking about when it was Sherman, when all them dudes was like, oh, Julio Jones. It was nobody. And I love AB and Fitzgerald, and they all said Julio Jones, because I don't think anybody was that big, that fast, and that strong.
Yeah,
the company. When he would get loose, it looked like a wild horse was loose. When he was running, it looked like somebody, like a wild horse was running. I'd have made a business decision and got out of that man way. I'd act like I tripped over my cleat.
Man, outside of Calvin Johnson, right? You never seen a receiver, like you said.
You've never seen it.
That strong and that fast. And we had I was listening to the Matt Ryan interview. So Matt Ryan sat in with the 680, the fan crew, for a whole hour last week. And they just, Brian Finneran's on that show. So, of course, that's his boy. So he's going to get him on the show. And they got to talk about it. And they asked him, what do you think the issue was in the right? Like, y'all didn't have more touchdowns, because there was always kind of the knock on, so we didn't, Julio didn't get as many touchdowns with Matt as he could have possibly. And Matt just said, he said, honestly, he goes, after that first season, teams played us different. Like it didn't do any good for us to watch film on the defense because they were going to play Julio different. He's like, especially in the red zone. Like there's 2, sometimes 3 guys bracketing him in the red zone. And he was like, and there's times, we look at film after the game, it's like, oh shit, well, Julio was open right there.
Yeah.
But because, just playing ball and just playing the game, like, you're looking through your check downs, or you see, like Matt would think, okay, I see the coverage, I see them shading over. So like, he's already going to be looking elsewhere before,
already, he won't even.
Right.
He's the most doubled player who's ever played in the NFL. He's been doubled more times than any receiver that's ever played the sport. So you think about a lot of that stuff he was doing, he was doing on 2 people. Think about that. And he's the only one who don't see. I think that you saw Antonio Brown in single. I think you see Metcalf in single. You see a lot of people in single. You would never see Julio. Maybe now, but you would have never caught nobody in single coverage with Julio Jones. That wasn't happening. It was going to be a touchdown.
That's right.
I mean, he had such a way to separate from.
Yeah.
I mean, but 2 people, like whether that's splitting between a safety and a corner or just whatever. He had such a special, like a specialized route tree to where he could like really with whatever route was being run. I would have really liked to see him in a system that really like Shanahan's, where he was able, just kind of like Shanahan was able to really make Julio be let Julio be. So it was just seeing. I mean, I really wish I would have seen more of what Shanahan and Ryan could have done.
Me too,
man.
But really wish they wouldn't have just like let that go. But he had to be a head. But I understand.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, Saivion. Okay, so this is your fantasy question, right?
Okay.
If you all the Falcons you ever seen play from when you first started watching Michael Vick, you can pick any player you ever seen, but he can't be playing now, right?
Okay.
Now all the holes. The team we had last year. They got plenty of holes in it. If you could pick one player from Falcons past to bring in for 1 year at the peak of his talent. So if it was Vic, it was the year he was best. If it was Dion, it was the year he was best. Whoever you want, it's them. If it was Algie Crumpler, it's his best year. If to specifically help us next year with our new team, what old Falcon do you bring? I'm gonna tell you, I'm already gonna like this answer because he's really thinking about. He's really thinking about it.
While he's thinking, when he was talking about Shanahan, man, and like in that offense, putting Julio in the slot was the most disgusting thing because you were gonna have to. What could you do?
Yeah. What could you do?
Yeah.
I'm thinking either, and I'm kind of cheating here because it's not when I was watching it, but
it's fine.
I'm thinking either Tuggle or Abraham.
Who?
Either Jesse Tuggle or John Abraham. One of those 2.
Damn. Jesse Tuggle. You're the first one to say Jesse Tuggle. Somebody else said John. Now, why Tuggle or Abraham for next year?
I mean, this defense. Both of those positions. I mean, we have holes in it. So I mean, whether that's Abraham that's coming off the edge, or Tuggle that's able to literally revitalize the defense like we need. Like this entire defensive front needs a revitalization. So it's one of those 2.
I love it. I do like that. Jesse Tuggle or John. Tuggle was my man.
You can't go wrong with it. That's my first jersey. Yeah, that was my first jersey.
Tuggle was? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a mean. He had the spirit I like that I say we need. The mean, try to knock your head off. That's what we miss.
Smart too, leadership.
Yeah.
Also think that he would work well. He would work well in Dean P's system too.
Yeah.
So,
dude, man, he's Dean P's ideal middle linebacker.
Ideal. Yep. That's a good point. That's a great point. That's a good one.
Yeah. So, well, I guess I already kind of know your thoughts on this, Saivion, just by Twitter and a few of the things that we talked about. So, the whole Matt Deshaun debacle that went down, man. So we kind of, I mean, we literally thought the same thing initially, and it kind of, I don't think I didn't change much from it really based on stuff that I heard. I mean, now it's hilarious now because I don't know if y'all saw Deshaun posting his picture of his Browns jerseys, all his different Browns jerseys. Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Okay, well, he posted a picture of like all the different versions of his Browns jersey. In the background, there's a custom Falcons jersey laying on like a table.
In the foosball table.
Yep.
Crumpled up.
Yep.
Oh.
So we'll get into that in a second, but that means to me, like, I mean, not just this, but I mean, I know you can get a custom jersey, but like it was more than just exploring the opportunity from what the management said, but whatever. It's Saivion, you go, buddy.
So with the whole thing with that, number one, it was much more than an exploratory thing. If Deshaun Watson said that he wants to be a Falcon and we could have made it happen, he was going to be a Falcon. I 100% think that. But also with that, would you believe me if I told you that I'm still have mixed feelings about it? Because I can't shake the moral part of it, because I mean, I have a sister. I have a sister. I have a wife. I have a mother. I have a little baby girl on the way. And I don't feel comfortable being, okay with a guy with that much smoke around his name, especially when it comes to sexual assault. It's a lot. But at the same time, I also look at it from the business standpoint, and it's like, it's an asset that is very good for your product, what you need. And yes, you may get some blowback, but at the same time, it's an asset that you can build around for years to come. Mm-hmm. And so from that standpoint of it, and I think I've said it to a couple guys on Twitter, from that standpoint of it, from a pure on the field business standpoint of it, I completely understand. I mean, you go after that guy. But if you do, you have to be able to eat the consequences that come with that. And those consequences are, some people will be completely against and stop supporting your organization, and that you have to eat. Doing this whole run around saying, oh, it's an exploratory, if he would have said yes, we would have had to go deeper into it. No, you wouldn't have. There's no point in feeding fans that nonsense, because no, you wouldn't have. There's nothing that tells me that you were going to.
Right. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying, he was going to make a decision like that weekend, right?
Yep.
So like, what more? And before I even go on, I'll just say Arthur Blank spoke about it, and they asked him, and he just kind of doubled down.
I'm dying to hear this shit. I haven't heard this yet. I'm dying to hear this.
Okay, so this is straight. This is from the Atlanta Falcons website, and he said, we did enough at that point from a legal perspective to feel like a conversation with him was worthwhile doing. One, the criminal cases was not pursued by the grand jury. The second one was a little later. We were comfortable with that, but we had a lot more questions if we were going to go down that path and follow it super seriously. No, you didn't, because again, there was a timeline there, and the Houston had already said they weren't going to talk to anybody unless the deal was they had already approved. They had to approve the deal first before they would speak to anybody. So no, you'd already talked to them about their compensation. That was already done. I mean, so anyway, I'll continue. The level of pursuit that we had in the exploratory stage was the right thing to do. If it made sense to go further than that, there would have been much more intensive process. The Falcons only had the one meeting with Watson, who ultimately waived his no trade clause to allow Houston Texans to send him to Cleveland. The Browns had received criticism for Watson acquisition, considering the off-field issues he's still facing. Blank said he remains comfortable with the Falcons' preliminary exploration of Watson and made a clear point to say more work would have been required before possibly acquiring him. The word explore is the key word, Blank said. We matched the amount of work we're doing to the word exploring. It wasn't more than that. It wasn't less than that. It was the commitment we made. We had the interview with him, and that was the last of it. The issues surrounding Watson and are an area of concern. I don't know what the truth is. I know what Deshaun says, but I also know there are 22 allegations out there, and that's a very significant, serious subject. So, yeah, I think our job is to pursue opportunities, Blank said, in response to a question about how the Falcons' exploration was perceived in this case. I think our job is to pursue opportunities in response. Sorry, I already read that part. In this case, professionally, we knew he could play at a high level. We had an experience with him. We had him at our facility for 4 years as a ball boy, developed a great relationship with Matt Ryan and with others in the work that he had. We had that as a frame of reference, which was a little bit different. To get to the point, the interview was comfortable commitment for us. What would have happened if we had gone further, I'm not sure. End of quotes.
That was he should be a congressman. When you
What?
can do that shit, when you can do that shit, when you can talk around something for that extensively, and you try to confuse something very simple. You had a good girl. You tried to swap her for a stripper, and you missed. And then you try to go back home, and then the good girl didn't want you either. Now you don't have the stripper or the good girl, and you're trying to tell the public, I wasn't really gonna get the stripper. I mean, I was talking. We had one conversation. I wasn't really gonna leave my wife for the stripper. You was gonna leave your wife for the stripper. We all know you was. We saw you doing it. We have eyes. We saw what y'all was doing, man. For him to come back now is just trying to save a little bit of like, I wasn't sure we were thinking about it. You were sure.
Yeah, and what's crazy too. So like the way I was justifying, I wasn't really justifying at all, but the way I was thinking in my head, Mike, when we talked about it originally was, so if he did get traded, or if he went to us, how much we were going to give up was going to be crazy, right? Because the Browns gave up a shit ton, right? So I was thinking, my God, we already got like we're in the Titanic right now. The shit's, I mean, we already hit icebergs and it's sinking bad. So we got to have players everywhere. So we're fixing to give away a bunch of the picks. But I thought to myself, you know what? We might comp, a second round for a couple of second rounds with Matt, maybe a third. Dude, we end up getting a third round pick from Matt. So we would have possibly traded God knows how many picks and gave God knows how much guaranteed money to Deshaun for a third round pick that we got from Matt. That makes it even worse.
Botched, to say the least. But y'all, the cost had all the leverage. Now we know he want to leave. We know he don't want to play for y'all. I will give you a box of Pop-Tarts, and like don't you remember an iPod? It's not iPhone, iPod and a box of Pop-Tarts and a third round pick. And they took it because you don't have any more left. We know he don't want to play for y'all now. We know he want to come specifically here. So why would we give you anything for it? We know that you're desperate, and they botched that on all sides. That was I love Arthur Blank, but I'm surprised he allowed that to go on.
The level of stupidity that they must think the fans have. Like I said in the last episode, just be honest, man. Just say, look, we talked to him. It didn't work. Hindsight, it was probably not a good decision with everything going around him.
Just say that.
We fucked up, and we're going to move on. And you know what? Let's put it behind us.
Mike, was it at least an iPod Touch, or was it the iPod Shuffle?
No, it was the first iPod. It wasn't iPod Touch. See, that's the thing. You didn't get anything. It wasn't. So I'm just like and I say this again, that really burned the fan base because of the character of the people you were trying to swap. The skill set was clear in Deshaun Watson. I mean, you cannot argue with that. If we had the money, that was clearly the best move. I see you have to do that if you got to take the chance. But the quarterback, again, is the face of the franchise. That's who the kids want to be like. That's who goes to speak to the children. That's who the team follows. That's the face of your organization. That's who speaks at events. Matt Ryan is the GOAT of that. And swap him, again, you were about to put a stripper in front of and let everybody follow the stripper. So it's like, that dude, again, I hope that dude get all that straight. I hope he didn't do none of that, but 23 allegations is too much to be the face of a franchise.
But look, how on a personal level, so why do you see 40 different massage therapists?
Yeah, because you would pick one. I got one chiropractor because I got I got one place I go for massages.
Right. And you're not a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You are a civilian. I mean, you know football, but you're not a professional athlete. Your body isn't what's making you money. So you're sitting. So what that tells me is that you're trusting 40 different people to do what you like, do your massages and, get you ready for game day or whatever you're getting massages for. Like I said, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. I don't know what the fire is. I don't know how much fire there is. And
there was a shit ton of smoke.
There's a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
So and to go off of your stripper analogy, it's not, and this is just how I see it. In my opinion, it's not about the fact that we even wanted to go back home to our wives. I really that Fontenot and Smith were just like, I'm tired. I'm tired of how I'm feeling every day when I come home. And they found a nice looking stripper, and the stripper burned them.
I agree with that.
and I don't think they were able to even go back to the wife.
You couldn't even go back. You knew you couldn't go back, so you just kept going forward. You just stayed out.
So
the wife already said no. She said no. I went out.
She said, if you go to the strip club, I'm leaving.
Yeah, and she said, I'm gonna pick the guy.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm
the guy I want.
It's the guy I had my eye on the whole time. And she went right there to him, and they gonna live. And if you see them get married and get a ring, you're gonna be sick to your stomach.
Damn.
Because I am, and I'm just an observer. I'd be so happy. I want Matt Ryan to get a ring so bad, just to shut everybody up to say he need one. But for me, Matt Ryan don't need to do nothing else. Matt Ryan is solid with me. That's the GOAT to me. I loved it. I love you, buddy. I have nothing to say bad against Matt Ryan.
Just a side note, hearing that the Indianapolis Colts are the dude that she told you not to worry about is by far the most hilarious thing.
Right. Right. So no, he's so nice. No, he don't even look at me like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, right over there.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta she's earned the right to pick when you did what you did.
Yep.
You gave her that freedom to pick. So I just wish the dude the best. That I'm not lying. That I think about that shit every day, like a girlfriend that left me. I think about him once a day. I love Matt Ryan, bro. It's probably
I bet Matt. It's probably the only time Matt's ever been compared to like a loyal wife.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So tag Sarah Ryan in the joint.
Yeah.
We love you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So outside of that whole mess, man, what do you make of Arthur and Terry so far, just from start to finish? Like, I know, we're still early on, and I mean, you look on Twitter, you see fire them now.
Yes.
You see, or you see like, nah, they're doing a great job with what they got. So like, where are you at?
First of all, this fan base is I don't know. We could look at the sky, and one side will say it's green and the other will say it's blue.
100%.
Like,
yes.
It is truly remarkable how in shambles this fan base is. But I digress. Honestly, I think that even though I struggle with it, but it shows I struggle with the Deshaun Watson thing. I struggle with with some of these moves just as a whole, like getting rid of Matt Ryan. That's bold, but that lets me know that Terry Fontenot is not afraid to do what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. So, and there's another side to that. It's like, okay, you also said that we could have our cake and eat it too, and this cake sucks. So, mm-hmm. what are we eating? What are we trying to eat here? So, I think he's finally able to say, yeah, we're rebuilding and we're looking towards the future, to infinity and beyond, because going into win now mode, and this is something that I've seen on Twitter from a couple of guys that I follow. I can't remember who they were. It sucks. I really want to give them their props. But going into quote unquote win now mode and getting somebody like Jalen Mayfield and Richie Grant, guys that are clearly developmental players, that's you're saying one thing and you're doing another. That's one thing I don't. That's what I don't like. And as far as Arthur Smith's doing what he can with what he has, I think that Arthur Smith is a smart guy that's able to win. I don't know if he's able to win at the highest level. That part I have to see, of course. But I do think that he is at least on the right track to be able to be a good coach for the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think to get 7 wins out of that squad last year, I know it's been said, but I mean that was pretty good. I mean, and we probably should have won that Washington game. Just how he managed it at the end. Yeah. But I also think a first-year head coach is going to have those learning moments too.
Yeah, he was growing with the team, man.
Right. So I mean, he's gonna make mistakes too. So and nobody was expecting the playoff run or anything like that. I mean, the fact that we were still in it, that we were still talking about it that late in the season was like shocking to us. Like we kept talking about it on the show because it was mathematically possible, But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's crazy. But I mean, this year I have no idea what to expect this year. I mean, you got Mariota, we'll get to the free agent signings. I mean, like they've kind of went on I guess you could say a mini shopping spree, but they kind of went to TJ Maxx, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, these guys could turn out to be, you never know. But I mean, they going back. I mean, the good thing is, they did re-sign Isaiah Oliver for 1 year, which I thought was a no-brainer. Yeah. Because before he got hurt last year, he looked like he was kind of coming into his own, So they signed running back Damien Williams to a 1-year deal from Chicago. Of course, the Casey Hayward signing we already talked about. They signed, of course, CP back. We talked about that. They got Lorenzo Carter coming back home for a 1-year deal, which I thought, like we talked about a little bit on the last show, like his last 4 or 5 games last year, he really kind of came around. Like he had came off an Achilles injury and it looked like halfway through the season he was starting to become his old self. So I mean, hopefully he'll be able to show out. They signed Eric Harris again to a 1-year deal at safety, which I mean, I'm all right with that. He's a good veteran to have back there. And I mean, he's gonna piss you off on the field, but some of the stuff's gonna get on your nerves. But and then we signed a few different receivers. So we signed Cadrell Hodge to a 1-year contract, of course, Mariota, and then wide receiver Alden Tate, which I like that deal a lot. That dude's a big dude, and he didn't have a ton of opportunities in Cincinnati, but big hands, can catch. I mean, he might, just by lack of anybody else, he may have a really good season. And depending on who we draft, I mean, if we go draft a wide receiver one, like somebody like a Pickens or Garrett Wilson or who knows, then I mean, it'd be a good fit. And then we signed Quadri Allison to 1 more year. And then Dean Marlowe, which I thought was a pretty decent signing as well, at a 1-year deal. So I mean, they're doing what they can. I thought those picks are not. Of course, we know we're working with, so we're not going to go out there and make. I'd love to have Tyrann Mathieu, but I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's going to be hard to get people here with this going on, but I'm excited for those young players to see the second year. And I'm excited to see, since it happened, Matt Ryan was my main thing. I didn't want to have it happen. But after that, now I'm just excited to see who we draft and see, because what you're looking at is the foundation for the new Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. And
I'm certainly excited.
Right. And if we do draft a quarterback this year that we do think is going to be our next guy, then I think we're probably looking at Mariota as a 1-year kind of thing, which is I'm okay with. But I do think that we get Mariota at a good time because he's coming off 2 years in Vegas where he's barely played, which is, I guess, good and bad, but he's healthy. And he's got a year to prove himself to the league to say, look, I can still play. Like I can still be a productive winning quarterback. I can go get me. I mean, he's going to go out there and try to get himself another contract.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can use, and I'm cool with that. If he's going to come here and show out and, and Mike, you and I talked about it a lot, was we really wanted Matt to be around when we drafted somebody, just to have Matt for a year. To see how to be a professional and just see how to, all the work that he put in. But I mean, obviously you take a step back with Mariota, but I do like the fact that Mariota has been really good. He's been really bad. He's been cut. He's been, like he's seen it all as well. Like he is a veteran that he can share his experiences with whoever we're going to draft. So it's not like we're going to just miss out completely on kind of molding a guy, because I do think Mariota's a smart kid. I think he's you know, I mean, I think he'll help out whoever. I don't think he's going to be that guy who's like, no,
I don't either. I view him like he's like a hot pocket. No, I wouldn't. You know, I'm hungry, but I'll eat it. But
man,
I wouldn't pick. I'm not craving. I didn't wake up like, you know what would be amazing? Like, no, he's like a hot pocket. He okay,
man.
You know.
Y'all not on that, man. Liam picked out. Did y'all have this when y'all were kids? The little pizza rolls.
Yeah, those are good, man.
Saivion, you ever had that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pizza rolls, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't had them since I was a kid. But Liam just happened to see them the other day in the freezer aisle. And I was like, dude, yes, we're getting those.
Yeah, see? No, those are pretty good. But that's all he is.
The hot pocket thing just made me think of that. Sorry.
Man, I think he'll be good for 1 year as a place filler. I would have loved. My main thing was I wanted Matt to do what Brett Favre did to Aaron Rodgers. That's a tremendous value when it's Matt Ryan. You got years of a veteran, 14 years of reading coverages, of knowing how to conduct yourself. I wanted him to smoothly hand that to somebody. So we're gonna have to start from the bottom because I don't know that man, Marcus could help him be something, but you know, it's a hot pocket trying to teach you how to be a steak. You can't do that because you've never been a steak. So I trust him to just be a good place filler, but I'm so excited for the draft at 8. So I have to ask y'all. Now I don't watch college. I'm not into the draft and all. John, now I know we haven't talked about it in a while. Who realistically would you pick at 8? And I mean, when I say realistically, I mean they'll still be there. Who would you realistically, and Saivion, I'm asking you the same thing because I don't even know who's up. Who are you now picking? Now that you know what Matt Ryan, you see our free agency, who are you getting now at 8?
Man, well, if there's still so much movement in what it could be. It's maddening.
Yep.
So like we could there was talk so Kayvon Thibodeau initially was talked about as maybe even going number 1 early on, like because he was that good, right? Then this shit came out that he's not really that hard of a worker, which is complete garbage, and that he may have some other off the field interest. Okay, great. He wants to be who cares?
Yeah.
So then he said he starts falling down the draft board. So I went back and looked at some film because I watched a lot of him when we did the edge rusher podcast, and I don't remember. Initially I didn't think I didn't see him taking off plays, but let me go back and watch because all this shit came out. I watched 5 games, man. That dude don't stop. I don't know where that came from.
Nope.
So
probably
what's that?
Is that who you want at 8, John? I mean, if he were to be available, is that who?
Oh my God, if he was there, yeah.
Damn, both of y'all said that.
100%.
Yeah,
dude, he was so good in Oregon, and people will knock him saying he doesn't have a good secondary or third kind of move. He didn't need it.
Okay. So he's saying he getting through that first move.
Dude, the bull run, the weird thing we always talk about with Vic Beasley that he never had was that speed to power. Dude, he's got that speed to power and then some. I mean, and his chop and they're not that bad, man. And they're only going to get better. I mean, he's only going to get better as he gets into the league.
Well, I hope some more rumors come out. Well, I say we start some more rumors. Please. So he dropped to 8.
Please. But not back to your original question. Yeah, I mean, if he's there 100%, then Kyle Hamilton, the big safety out of Notre Dame, he may drop. That'd be amazing too.
Okay.
If both those guys are off the board, I think Sauce probably moved up. He probably improved his stock from the combine and his pro days. People seeing just how good he really is. And then to add the numbers he put up. I mean, I think, and with us signing Casey Hayward, we don't have that super need for another CB2, but because that was the guy I wanted initially, until we signed Casey Hayward. So it's just up in the air, man. I mean, I am before Saivion, I'll let you answer, man, too. But before, I want to read this quick email because it goes right into what you're asking me, Mike.
All right.
Let me find it. Let's see. Actually, Saivion, you go ahead and answer, man. I'm gonna find the email while you're talking about it.
So, with this draft, the crazy part is there's so many right answers at 8 that these guys really go wrong. I mean, the only thing that I can really say that they can go wrong is if they get a Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis or Desmond Ridder, which somehow Desmond Ridder at 8 has become a thing, and I don't like it at all.
I saw you on Twitter
100%.
with that. I saw you. Yeah.
I don't like that. That talk has to cease.
You're talking about a reach, man. Like
that's a huge reach. If that happens, I'm going to be like, I believe that the guy that said it, I know what he's thinking. A lot of these QBs are now getting their college counterparts. So for him, like Burrow and Chase,
I got you.
and how that works. And so I guess what he was thinking is that maybe TF will do the same thing and try to get Ridder and Pierce, Alec Pierce, the receiver from Cincinnati as well. But to do that at 8 and 43, when you can also, when there's still a chance, you can still also do that at 43 and 58. That's not okay.
That's a great point. Great point.
Yeah, and Pierce could easily be there at 58.
Great point.
Easily be there at 58. I mean, of course, there's the chance that he's not. I mean, there's a reason why he's being drafted in the second round.
Yeah.
But for you to reach that far when you have, again, but if he does this, it will be against what he has told the fans, because what he said is best player available.
Mm-hmm.
And the player available, there's a list of 8 players that you can think of, that I can think of probably. Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, Sauce Gardner. I still like Stingley. I'm sorry. Derek Stingley. Charles Cross, Evan Neal, Kyle Hamilton, and who was the last guy I was thinking of? Trayvon Walker. Thank you. And as a
that was offhand. So that just made the point for that was offhand. That's not what he wasn't looking at nothing. I'm looking at him. He's not reading. He didn't Google. That was offhand.
And one last guy, one wild card, who in my opinion, which I'll be biased, I'm an FSU fan, is the safest pick in this draft is Jermaine Johnson. And that's 9 guys. We have the 8th pick.
Exactly.
All right. So
we should be fine.
So I got to ask you something. For the common fan that is not into the draft, a lot of people are going to listen and they don't understand the draft, or they didn't see the people in college. So they have no clue, right? I'm going to ask you a question that a lot of people in the state of Georgia probably would like to know. And it's if the way our fans would think is, okay, we don't have Matt Ryan, we need to get a quarterback. I don't think anyone is excited about Marcus. You have at 8, you could pick the dude you just said no, Malik Willis. A lot of our fans are going to say, well, he's fast and he can throw deep. Why would you not get Malik Willis? Now, John is against it. John has told me like 3 times. And I'm going to ask you, why did you say that you're totally against getting Malik Willis at 8?
The reason why is because Malik Willis is just not ready. You don't get a developmental guy like that at 8. I mean, if you're getting somebody at 8 and passing up on all of the talent that I just said, you are putting on way too much pressure for somebody that did not have, that's just plain not league ready. I mean, he was in a scheme where, and I think it was Eric Crocker that said it on Twitter, there's a lot of curls. It's a very simplistic scene. It's a very simple, not many things that he has to go from 1 read to 2. There's not much read progression. He's not ready to lead the franchise. As a human being, we've already seen that he's a great human being, that he can be a leader of men. I believe that from Malik Willis. And those are intangibles that I could understand, if you trade up or trade down maybe and get some extra picks and you got him at 15 down with the Eagles, and you add more capital, but you get him at 15 because the Eagles want to move up. Again, not going to happen, but still. If you trade down, you get him at like 15, 16 maybe. I could understand it. I still wouldn't like it, but you still have more capital in a very deep draft that you can build around it. So a top 10 pick for a guy like Willis, it doesn't sit well for me.
John said the same thing. John said almost verbatim the same thing.
Told you, man. I told you from Twitter. He's in my head a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, no, and the email that we got, man, it was like I said, it kind of goes along with this. It was from Jackson. So Jackson, appreciate the email. He said, "Farewell, Matty Ice was by far my favorite show y'all have done so far. Love the passion you guys have, and I know others have said it before, but the chemistry you two have make it for a very, very easy listen. I don't want to leave out Troy, as I really like when he is on
Troy, T-Roy.
Can't wait for the draft so we can see who we're going to be looking like. Are y'all thinking QB at 8 is getting more realistic? Again, guys, love what y'all are doing and keep it up, Jackson." So yeah, we basically just talked about it. But yeah, I mean, I just go off what Saivion just said. It's to any of the QBs at 8, like none of them should be in the top 10, to be honest. Like in any other draft year, they wouldn't be, but because of teams' needs and stuff like that, there's going to be a team that reaches, they're either going to get burned badly, or it's going to work out, one way or the other. But like I just don't, like with the players Saivion named off, I would take every single one of them before QB without even a question.
Yeah. So who's the linebacker I like?
Devin Lloyd.
Who?
Devin Lloyd.
Devin, yeah. That's who I want. I would get him.
No, I think I think he's going to be a game record.
That I would be completely fine with. We have a void at linebacker. That would.
He seemed like a game changer. Like he gonna wreck some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So
hold on, John. I gotta ask. So Saivion, what jerseys you got, man? You got Falcon jersey. You got a cool hoodie. You got hats. You got socks. What you got, man? Because you representing in Florida where they all staring at you like you crazy. So what you got?
Me, I was not able to, because my father is an Eagles fan, so he doesn't really don't really condone my Falcons fandom. So growing up, he didn't really get me much.
I got you. Oh, you got to get Kyle Pitts or something, or like AJ. Yeah.
100%. I'm definitely getting me a Kyle.
You got to get Pitts.
I got to make sure he's here first, because apparently these guys are just completely fine with just throwing anybody out.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do have that my dad did give me, this was a complete hand-me-down, but I don't know if you know, back in the back in the early 2000s, everybody had the big jerseys, right?
Throwback, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. My dad gave me a 3X Deion Sanders jersey.
Keep that. You frame that, because you can't wear it. You frame it. You can't wear it. Hey, that's dope.
No, I can't. No, I definitely can't wear it. I tried wearing it once, and it was a dress. It was a literal dress.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it was truly amazing, and I'm pretty sure I still have it. I think it's in the back of my closet right now, because we just. So yeah, it's in the back of my closet right now, and yeah, that's all I have right now. I gotta get my cash up so I can get me a Kyle.
Yeah. No, you got to get some stuff for the new season.
Man, look, my first jersey, that Tuggle jersey, man, like, because that was we're dating ourselves, but that was like mid-90s.
Yeah.
That thing was down to my knees almost, dude. I didn't give a damn.
Because everything was big. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I had Deion for every team we went to, and it was always big. Always too big. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Saivion, are you still in Jacksonville?
Yep, still here.
Okay. I don't know if you moved or not. All right. So yeah. Did you ever get up for a game or plan to?
I'm trying to get credentialed with the website that I write for, Last Word on Sports. And I'm trying to credential for them so that I can just come up and I can just get into the games. Because while the games are, once you're inside, I've seen the prices inside and it's wonderful, and you can have a great. The prices outside are wow.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Get into it. It's wow. But I know, because my father-in-law, he actually went coached up there, and he showed me some of the prices there, and he was like, "Man, this is ridiculous for an in-game." And I'm like, "Yeah, that is. I just got to get in there first."
Yeah. That's the thing, man. Mercedes is great, man. That's like most amazing outside of probably Dallas. And I know you've been to Dallas, but
I've been to both.
But they priced out their hardcore fans, man. When you got guys that have been going there for 20 years, 30 years, and they can't afford now these PSLs that are, I mean, $10, $15, $20,000, just to get the right to buy the ticket.
Yeah. But you shouldn't have to spend $400 for you and a person to go to a game. It shouldn't be, and because then when you pay for parking and food, it's a $500 experience. You got to come off that, man, because and then for the team to probably lose.
Well, they wonder why, like, the experience, like other than the product on the field, that's the part of it, dude. Like, you priced out your most hardcore fans, and I mean, they got to think now, like, okay, I got a family of 3 or 4. I got to I got to budget stuff out. And so I'm going to budget $500 just to go to the game on Sunday and give me a $2 hot dog.
Yeah. Right. And he act like the hot dog is going to make up for the $500. The hot dog should be free. I should have unlimited hot dogs.
Exactly.
Saivion just moved into a new place. Okay. He has a daughter on the way. He don't got $500 goddamn dollars to be good. He want to take her to see the game.
Exactly.
So Arthur Blank need to come, man. Nobody has $500 for one outing of a regular season game. That's a bit ridiculous. So they gotta, and their only excuse is, well, you could go way up where Jesus is and sit. And that's $35 a seat. And I'm like, man, I don't want to sit from up there. Like, I might as well sit home and watch the game, But it's an awesome experience when you actually get to go. To see them live is something else.
Yeah, well, dude, if you make it up, man, you gotta let us know so we can.
We will all go.
Go down there.
Yes.
100%. 100%. I'll let y'all know first.
Yeah, exactly. So hold on, man. Whenever your babies do, I swear to God, I'm sending the the infant Falcon thing to you for girls. I promise you. You have to tell me when your child is due. I will honestly mail you that shit. The infant, it's adorable, but it's black and red. It's for infants. I got you, but I'm trying to tell you. Raise her right. Start her off right.
I appreciate that. That'd be amazing, man.
When she due?
She's due June 16th.
Okay.
Man, around the corner.
That's, man, my birthday is June 3rd. I got her coming out on the 3rd, and I got her. I got her covered. Trust me. You got to start it right, but I love it. Yeah.
Man, Liam was originally due June 20th, and then he decided to hurry up and came May 6th. So
yeah, he came. Yeah.
Yeah.
The prodigal son. That's my man.
Freaking guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So any other Falcon stuff? We're gonna go on to overrated, underrated.
No, hold on. So I got this, Saivion. I just want to hear you watch Michael Vick, and after that we had a cool quarterback that was fast and was flashy, and what happened with him. But then after that, we got this nerdy dude in a suit and was kind of stiff, and he looked boring and was always professional. But you got to see him in the entirety, the 14 years. You got to see the whole thing.
Yep.
Now he's gone. I just want to hear your thoughts on Matt Ryan's, not how he ended, but Matt Ryan as an Atlanta Falcon quarterback from your perspective.
So I said a couple weeks ago in a group chat with the writers of Last Word on Sport, I was a little bit, I think I was more so hurt when I said it, but I was like, man, look, man, I get it. Matt Ryan is such and such, but he was a good quarterback for what he was, you know what I'm saying? And then I looked back at what I saw, and I looked back at the games, and what made me look back was a comment one of my guys said, because he's a Broncos fan, and he was like, well, I don't know about all this, man. Y'all, this is a lot of Matt Ryan hate for me. And I was like, man, I don't know. What I used to say was that Matt Ryan was a quarterback when everything is good around him, it is really good. Everything fantastic, and everything works. But when it's not good around him, it looks horrible, it looks bad, and it's not exactly his fault, but he can't do anything about it. If you look at some of the teams that Matt Ryan has had to kind of rise up out of what I can only call, our defenses were horrible, and I didn't realize how bad they were growing up until I started looking at them after he left. Our defense is like he would have to really sit there and with shootouts with like Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, and he'd have to sit there and actually be on point for a good majority of the game, or else we don't win.
Yes. Yep. And we don't stand a chance at winning if he doesn't play perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And that takes, not to mention the fact that how many games has he missed? I think he said he's missed 3 games. 2 or 3, yeah. I think he's missed 3 games throughout his entire tenure. And he's never said a bad word he's never said anything about, I need help here. I need help here. He has always been a really good to great quarterback. And then when you put him in a system that accentuates what he does best, which is read progressions, timing, and making sure that he can, that he has time to see the field like he needs to. Mm-hmm. When all 3 of those things were good, that second season with Kyle Shanahan, he was an elite quarterback, and he never got a chance to be that again. Yeah. So I really hope that he gets that chance in Indianapolis to be that elite quarterback just one more time.
I love that. I wish we could clip that and send that to Matt. I love it. No, I totally agree with you, man. I love Matt Ryan. That's my favorite player, but I love how you your first perspective was kind of the common one for Atlanta fans.
I'm cool with being wrong. I'm cool. And
I appreciate.
I didn't realize how wrong I was, but shout out to my boy Kyle Granger. He really got me right when he said that, because he was like, I'm a Broncos fan. I've seen Brock Osweiler.
Yes, that's my point.
I just don't understand. And I don't know if you guys understand just how good you guys have Matt Ryan. And I didn't. I went from Vic, that one horrible year that we don't talk about in 07, and then Matt Ryan. Mm-hmm. So, I've been spoiled with great quarterback play
for a long time. And I don't think people know how rare that is. But I just like that you kind of saw it different after you studied the man. I think that most people would if they studied the man.
And I just don't think people give him the time of day. And
Yep. Yeah. I don't think they would bother to study. It's just he don't win a Super Bowl, so he must suck. I don't care. If he was as good as y'all say, then y'all would be winning. So he must suck. Is the end of it. Like you said, if you look at the teams, how was we even shooting out? He's shooting out with Peyton. Man, how was we even in the game as one person is the reason why we was in the game. And John has the jersey on. I'm sentimental just looking. I keep looking at John in his jersey, and I'm just picturing Matt. It's Matt Ryan. I'm sad, buddy. This is I love him, and I love the jersey.
I'm only 6'1", so
yeah, see?
so
yeah.
But no, man. And I got into it or started to get into it with a dude on Twitter. I normally don't. I try to avoid that shit.
Yeah.
I will give you your props on that.
Yeah, I try to stay out of it, and just because nowadays, like if somebody thinks a certain way, like as dumb as it may be, then it doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah,
and even if what you're saying is 100% factual, like it, like in this dude was talking about like how, essentially just to sum it up, like how trash he was. And how poor, like the last, I forgot how many seasons the record was, right? And
He's been here for 14 years.
14 years.
Right. And he was talking about the record over the last 4 or 5 years. He's like, if y'all want to talk about how good he is, you have to talk about how bad he's been for that record. And I just responded back, you're right, man. I forgot that it's not a team sport. You're right, totally right.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, and then he come back with some bullshit like, hey, I'm not the one who, I can't remember what he said, but I didn't even respond back because, like, again, it's like responding back to a wall. You're not going to get any type of, so like all you're telling me is you really don't understand
football,
the game of football at all, because it does depend on like I never said, or you never said that Matt was Tom Brady.
Never said that.
So
Never.
no. So if you take 99% of the quarterbacks in the league, they're going to need a cast of some sort around them to help them be successful, right? The hell, 2000 with Shanahan that year. I mean, our defense, I think, was middle of the road. We took the ball. We took
middle
of the road, and then we up in the playoffs.
Yep.
Right. And and I mean, I think 1 year he had a top 10 defense. 1 year. The rest of it's been middle to like late, like mid 20s to even worse, like last year, 28th or 29th, whatever it was. So you can't.
But that 1 year that he had a defense, wasn't that the year that they went 13-3 and they were like the number 1 seed?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure that was that year where they went 13-3. They had Gonzalez, Julio, and Matt, and the running game. I think they still had Michael Turner then too, and they were nasty. I want to say that, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right, and it's just so. I mean, you can't look at it as that way because it's not a one person game. I mean, if all the parts they're not running at the same level, man, it's just impossible.
Yeah,
like he can throw the ball 50 times a game, and he didn't want to, but he had to a lot of times just to stay in the game.
Just to stay in the game, just to be able to compete.
So I mean,
if you were to rank his offensive line per year over time, I'm pretty sure that the times Matt Ryan had and in the top 10 offensive line will blow your mind. And for all y'all that still doubt, go back and listen to the Matt Ryan farewell episode. I thought we gave damn near all of his records. Yeah, you don't get that from being mediocre. Matt Ryan, whether you like it or not, is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history that ever played the sport. That's in stone. That's statistically proven. So I mean, if you argue with numbers, you know, you would argue with a brick wall. You know.
Yeah. I mean, if you're. That's why I just stopped because, like I said, it didn't make any difference what I was going to say. Like nothing was going to change dude's mind. Like he already made his mind up that he's, you know. So if that's the case, like and we talked about before, like the different types of Matt Ryan fans, you know, it's the ones that love him unconditionally, the ones that are, you know, like they understand his limitations but accept that he's a really good quarterback, and the ones that just don't like him for whatever reason that we don't even know. You know, I mean, which again blows my mind because he's like literally. Possibly the nicest human being in the face.
The nicest person ever.
Yeah. Don't get it. Do not
at all. So,
but I love you, Matt. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
But y'all ready to get into some underrated, overrated?
Man, this is the best part of the show, isn't it?
Let's do it. So let me kick it off. I want to do. I don't have an overrated. I have 2 underrated. I gotta say this. Because Saivion reminded me. Well, I have 3. One is he reminded me work done. Y'all wanna I won't even get into it.
I mean to cut you off. C1 on Twitter, I forgot to mention him. He did say work done was the reason he got to be a
C1.
Yeah.
Hey, work done, amazing Falcon. Just Google the shit this dude does for single mothers. The dude build houses for single moms, man. That dude been out the league for a long time. A spectacular human being. Work done has done this, and I believe he using his own money or a portion of his own money to do every one of it. He's done several one of these. He's done this for years. Work done, spectacular human being. He was doing that with his own funds sometimes, or I think he partnered with somebody. Spectacular human being. So he's underrated, and I will go underrated. Bruce Arians. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know. It's so many rumors going around that maybe Tom Brady gave the Bucs an ultimatum, and so he came back and Bruce leave. Bruce, maybe they didn't get along. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't. I will say this. And me hearing about Bruce Arians, a lot of people talk about inclusion and they make a token gesture so it looks away. Bruce Arians has had 11 minority coaches on his coaching staff and women. and he wear Kango. I mean, Jesus Christ, how can you get any cooler than Bruce Arians? Part of me would like to believe, I don't know with insiders, I don't know who telling the truth or not. Part of me would like to believe that Bruce Arians knew he wanted to give Todd Bowles a Super Bowl ready team just to see his protege that happens to be a black dude have a good team to coach and see could he do it. But just like I said, a lot of people talk about inclusion, and they may make a gesture once to say, hey man, look, I'm not, evil. To have 11 of your staff, like in your tenure, be minority, he's giving so many people chance, and women. The dude is really, it's not about skin, it's not about gender. Bruce Arians the man to me, and I don't know him personally, but I'm thinking maybe that was influenced him stepping away. Like, I can give it to Todd, and to see him do that, that's going to be dope. And the last one for underrated is, man, Avery and Nelson, man. Shout out to Avery and Nelson being underrated. Y'all go over there and have a constructive conversation with the dudes. I thought that was an awesome concept. It's too much. If I speak wrong on the internet, too many people's attitude is, duh, well, actually, dickhead, if you would look at this website, just tell me. We have a constructive conversation. I can learn. If you inform me, I can learn. I'll realize I'm wrong, and then I can learn from it. So we need forums for that you can go and have an opinion, and even if it's different, it won't start an argument. You can have a discourse where you and that person learn each other, and you might not ever come over to each other's opinion, but you'll at least comprehend why they feel that way a bit better. So that's why I say it's important. Shout out to underrated Saivion, Avery, and Nelson. Y'all go check that podcast out and have a constructive conversation.
Hey,
that was it.
I just want to piggyback on that. And we talked about it before, but like, I'm so glad that I did not grow up on the age of social media.
I'm with you.
Because, bro, man, like, people, and we said it on this few episodes before, but people are way too comfortable talking shit without getting any repercussion whatsoever. Yeah. And I mean, like, I look back and like when we were growing up, dude, I don't know about you, but like in school, like if you had a problem or something with it, normally we handled it.
It was live in the face. It was nose to nose.
I mean, and if you weren't, I mean, if you said something at school, you better be about somebody, and then they found out, then you better be prepared to deal with it. Yeah. So it was like, it's a whole nother level of now, man. And that's not, I guess it's, I mean, probably sounds like the get off my lawn type of speech, but I mean, like, it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's just different, man. Like, that's why I don't try to engage in this shit online with Twitter. Cause I'm like, my God, man, we can't even have a like civil conversation about something. Like, it's, and so, yeah, to piggyback on that, man, I mean, just fantastic idea for a podcast, man. Cause I mean, it's just to have that conversation where people can listen and talk to everything about anything, you know, and just be entertained for an hour and a half, however long it is. Like Saivion said at the beginning, man, just to get away from the daily grind to work, whatever it is, man. Like, I pop it in when I'm riding around, man, or anytime while I'm in the office, you know, I mean, so yeah, I mean, 100%.
I just, man, that is, y'all gotta go check it out, because y'all be passionate about, I've seen people on Twitter and Instagram, y'all are passionate, but it's aimed nowhere. So go aim it into with some 3 dudes and some other people that are actually discussing the topic you may be mad about, and then you can get insight, maybe learn, you can hook up with them. It's improvement in that. It's awesome when you take a topic you're passionate about and you bounce it off other people, because you get different ideas. That's why we have fun on the Falcon podcast. I didn't know he was going to say Jesse Tuggle. That brought me back. Like, so many people have different angles and viewpoints about Matt Ryan and Falcons. The compilation of it is what makes us the shit. I'm out of my Falcon mind, you know. Yeah, but what they doing is the same thing, but it's for just life. So go over there and have a constructive, positive conversation, and they doing it on important fucking topics. So go over there. You may be able to learn and bounce your ideas. And again, I'll agree or disagree. You will get a better understanding of the opposite viewpoint. That's it. So that was underrated. And John, I want to say this, John and Saivion are like kings of that shit, of always being able to, I'm not that good at it. I'm getting there. I'm learning from these two, I'm getting there, but they'll try to always be fair in the assessment to hear you out sometimes. There's some topics I really ain't trying to hear you about. I'm them most of the time. Some topics I really don't want to hear shit you guys say if you disagree with me. But John and Saivion are really playing it fair. So when you talk to John, you can tweet at John or email John any questions on health, or John used to be a trainer. John is going to shoot you straight shit, and John is going to tell you, no matter what you ask about the Falcons, he's going to try to do it down the middle, but while giving his honest opinion. But if you said some dumb shit, John isn't going to be like, oh, that's some dumb shit. John is, you know, he'll tell me it's some dumb shit you said, but it won't, you know, he will try to help you get there and try to respect your decision. And Saivion and his boys are doing the exact same thing. So that's important, man. I love it.
Well, it wouldn't. I don't think you and I would work as a show if we were both the same way.
No, because I'm biased as shit on something. Like Matt Ryan, I'm not listening to you. I'm sorry, I'm not listening to you. I'm biased on something. Yeah, it would be a much pleasant show, but we need you and we need me. That's why it's the perfect mix. But Saivion, Avery, Nelson, completely underrated.
And that's none of that is scripted.
None of that scripted. I just go off my head with it. That's why he said work done. I think of this shit at the last moment. But somebody else.
Yeah, Saivion, hit it away.
Yeah, man. First off, I appreciate that. That was insane, and kind of the vision. If I could like clip that and put that as the vision on our website, I think that might.
You should.
When I'm going to.
You can use it.
Yeah, I'm definitely. That definitely was what we want. We want new viewpoints. Shout out to my boys Avery and Nelson, because my boys are. Oh my God! I mean, that's my family right there. But okay. Overrated.
Come on with it. Saivion, underrated, overrated. Come on. This is what we've been waiting on.
Underrated is Texas A&M defensive tackle DeMarvin Leal. I don't appreciate how much this guy has fallen. And I will put it in my Twitter bio. This is a DeMarvin Leal Stan account, because I am upset at how far he has fallen. He used to be a top 15 prospect, and because his tape wasn't sexy or whatever, or because he might be a tweener, which I mean are both whatever, cool. This guy is a baller, man. I mean, I'm sitting there watching him against Alabama last year. I look at him this year, and Alabama has basically game planned to where they're like, man, we can't run at 8. We can't have our offense go at 8. We have to have him unblocked and make sure that we roll away from 8.
Hey, I'm gonna step in. He's the only guy I've seen manhandle Evan Neal.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the dude is a monster, and he's so smooth with his movements. I'm upset. And shout out to freaking Damsky on Twitter, because he is the one who put me onto him. Because by God, I mean, when we were doing our draft profiles for my website, or excuse me, my website, the website I work for, I saw DeMarvin Leal was still open, and I couldn't click fast enough to do the draft profile, because I'm like, I want to make sure people understand just how good this dude is. And looking at it a second time, it is that much better. I need him in a Falcons jersey.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I need him in a Falcons jersey. So
Mike, he's like, Mike, this dude is like 290 pounds. So like, that's why he was saying, like, some people think he's a D tackle, some people think he's an edge.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got qualities of both. And I mean, if you want to add 10 pounds to him and line him inside, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you want to drop him 10, 15 pounds, let him come off the edge, you can do that too.
I love it. Versatile. Yeah. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't understand the hate either, though, that he got, because I mean, that's his film. All I needed to see was him destroy Evan Neal the way he did.
Evan Neal is maybe one of the smoothest movers that I've seen at a tackle spot. Mm-hmm. And he made him, and I mean, he made him look like, and I think I saw what was it? I'm looking at Travis Jones the other day, and there's a guard that he handled at Clemson. I can't remember his name, but that's how he made him look. He made Evan Neal, a consensus top 5 pick, look like, oh,
Yep.
he's okay, I guess. But there's this other side that's absolutely demolishing him.
Another dude we had on the show, Damsky, was awesome as well. Yeah, shout out to Damsky. Yeah. You got a underrated too, or is that just overrated?
No, that was my underrated. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
Out of it. Overrated is any type of coconut flavoring anything.
Man,
I'm tired of I tried it because I hate coconut cake. I hate coconut everything because it's a little piece of paper, flavored paper that is on top of food. Why am I eating a flavored piece of paper on my food? And coconut water tastes like water that somebody spit in and then gave to you. I'm very upset that I even spent money on coconut water. So
it is
no,
expensive.
And it's expensive. I somebody to spit in my water. No, bro. I'm not okay with coconut anything. So overrated is coconut flavored anything. I'm very upset at how much I spent on coconut water. I'm not about this podcast.
No coconut flavor. I love it. You must be out of your Falcon mind.
Not an Almond Joys fan then.
Not an Almond Joy. Yeah.
No. Again, it's like a piece of flavored paper that you put on food. Why?
I don't disagree, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Michael,
coconut.
You like coconut?
Stay away from coconut. I don't really like coconut. I don't like cake and sweets and shit though. Anyway,
well, that's true.
But I agree when he said it does look like confetti paper, like thin paper on the cupcake. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Why are you putting this here? It doesn't look good. It's like somebody won a Super Bowl and it's like, oh, I got confetti.
No, that's what it looked like. Yep.
Why? I don't know.
No coconut.
No coconut.
Not out of your Falcon mind. Well, we the lost coconut water sponsor, but who cares? Because it's gross.
We're down to no Chick-fil-A.
No Chick-fil-A, no Beyonce. Come on, John. Come on with it.
For me.
All right. So, I first, before I get into mine, I texted you and Troy earlier this week because mine last week was the whole overrated was coaching from the sidelines.
Yes.
You know, as a parent. So Liam's tournament last weekend, man, I shit you not. This parent was standing up in the stands, yelling at his kid in center field, like when he would drop a ball or something like, he ran up on the ball, could have caught it, but he decided to back off, just so it didn't get by him, right? And he's like, hey, or just go catch the ball. How about you do that? How about you go catch the ball? And just yelling at him the whole time. He's looking over there and he's like, man. Okay, I was like, man, this guy's kind of annoying. So he keeps going, and so he gets at the bat. He's yelling at him while he's in the batter's box. What he should be looking at, what the next pitch is. This kid is 11. I'm 11 years old. He's 10 or 11 years old. He got on the mound. He's yelling at him while he's pitching, like while he's on the mound in between pitches. Dude, if you've ever played baseball, or even if you haven't, okay, as a pit, he's 10, 11 years, he's learning how to pitch. He's got enough shit going on in his head trying to figure, I'm just trying to get the ball across the plate and not hit the guy, right? And he's looking at his catcher, and he's looking over at his dad or whoever the hell it was, yelling at him every time, right? And it was nonstop, and the coaches just let it happen. And I'm sitting there next to Liam's coach. He's like, man, this dude he wouldn't allow, gone immediately. It would have been like a quick conversation. Dude, you going to shut up or you're done. I mean, and the kid made a hell of a play the next inning, diving catch. He looks over to it. I swear to God, looks over to his parent or whoever it was for hey, dude's talking to somebody else, doesn't even see it. No, nothing. No clap, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you see the kid's face just kind of just dejected, and I felt so. I wanted to go hug the kid after the game. I felt so bad for him, but I was just like, so parents, damn it, again, what do you think what good is coming out of that?
The second week in a row, yes.
I mean, that's not it. I just had to.
I thought that was it. I thought you was coming
no.
Parents. No, I totally agree. Don't take it so serious. It's children.
Yeah.
That is a heartbreaking story.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, man, all right. Well, I mean, I guess I could believe it because I've seen it before, but it was funny that it happened right after we talked about it.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I should have videoed it and put his ass on blast, but
that shit would have, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. All right. So I got 2 underrateds too, Mike, actually.
All right.
So first one is, and it kind of goes along with kind of what we were just talking about, but so like tough coaching as a kid, like receiving tough coaching being underrated, because or it kind of goes into like the participation trophy type thing, right? So because to like me, and this goes back to the conversation I was having with Liam's coach, because like I said, we're like extremely lucky. This guy is like, I mean, he reminds me of the coaches I had as a kid, because he's hard, he's tough, he's fair. Like he's not verbally attacking the kids, you know what I mean? Like, or like abusing them in that manner. But like to him, you know, like when you're put in uncomfortable situations, that's how you grow, right? Yep. So that's how you figure out like how you respond to adversity, how you respond to getting called out. You know, some of these kids have never had that happen before, because a lot of these kids, to be honest with you, through little league or whatever, it's, oh, you finished 19th, here's a trophy.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and I mean, and it's like, you know, there's gotta be a balance, right? Because I mean, like growing up, you don't want it to all be about winning, but if you want to bring your kid up realizing that life is kind of about that in a way, like, you know, you're going to have to compete, whether it's for a job or it's for a position in sports. If it's you're trying to get a lady and your buddy is too, you got to compete with him. But it's just, I mean, you never know. So, but it's a mindset, you know. And so like, to me, you know, it's like you to have that type of coaching now at a young age, so they figure out like, man, I mean, like it molds them a different way of thinking. Whereas like, what does it, if the coach came out, you know, say they got hammered, like they did get hammered a few weeks ago by a team just way better than 12-0, they got run ruled, right? So, and he after the game, he's talking about all the, you know, what can we learn from this? You know, he didn't come out and say, hey, they're much better than you guys, don't worry about it. You know, it's not a big deal.
Try your best.
That happens though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so a lot. And so, you know, he was saying, no, we got to be better. And this is where we messed up, you know, and this is how we're going to, and like I said, there's a way to do it. Like we talked about last week, the dude from the coach we saw yelling at the shortstop saying, hey, that's 3 on you. Like that's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Then you're blowing the kid's confidence.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's coaching is not, and travel baseball is one of those things that, I mean, anybody can do it. Like I told you, Mike, you and I can start a team, and it doesn't matter. Like we don't have to have any coaching experience. We can just call ourselves whatever and say that we're fantastic baseball players, and people are going to pay us to do this. We just suck as coaches, and that happens everywhere. So like coaching in general, not everybody can be a coach. Just because you play the game don't mean you can coach. So I mean, just I don't know. I was thinking about that this weekend, because like I said, his coach and I were just having that conversation that, you know, we think along the same lines. It's like, man, I'm never going to be mad at you for getting on my kid if he's dragging ass, or if he knows he can be better. You know, he's just pushing him to be better. You know, that's great. You know, that's what I want. That's what I want from him in sports. That's what I want from him in academics. Everything, you know. So yeah, underrated, man. Tough, just being tough coaching.
Big man, I love it. I think one of the flaws right now of the world is that people don't, whenever you tell somebody something now and it's negative, they view it as hate, right? Like you was hating on them, or you just mad, or you. Sometimes I think it helps all of us to hear you ugly sometimes, or you short sometimes, or you skinny, or you dumb, or you slow. It makes you want to go, all right, I'm gonna prove something to you. If you got a spirit in you, like, so, okay. And the best coach is the coach that you want to impress, that you want to do good for. Like, I'm gonna show him that I improved from the last time or something. The one you want to win for, the one, and you only get that response when you encouraging kids. And to be honest, the best coaches seem to be the people that look, I can't tell, but they look like they love the kids, like personally. Yeah. Because you care about his self-esteem, and you can see when his shoulders slump, like, so, you know, I done got on him enough. So, you know, now, and start encouraging him. You actually care about the boy, because you know, okay, he get picked on at school. He need more reinforcement, or he's pretty confident. He need to pair with him because he less confident. you care about the people. I think that creates you to be a better coach. But I see nothing wrong. I wish they would stop telling every kid you was good, because that's a problem with we tell everybody they're handsome and pretty and they got a good body. Even people that are grossly fat, we say, oh, you like you just thick. And if you say fat, I'm shaming you. You fat. Like I'm light skinned. I'm not playing a game with you. Like I can see. So I just think more people need to, man, it's nothing wrong with saying you're the slowest one right now. You gotta run extra. That's your motive. It's not, no, we're all fast and slow up the team so he don't feel slow. No, you gotta work harder. You gotta go, oh, you a little chubbier. It's slowing us down. You should run extra in the morning to get that weight up. You should be able to relay these messages without crushing the kid's confidence. But I say you gotta, sometimes, man, it does you good to hear that you got a big ass nose, or you got dandruff, or you got boogers in your nose, or you ugly, or you can't dress. It helps. It makes you a decent fucking human being to know that you got shit to still work on. It keep you humble. When you tell a kid you amazing, you handsome, you smart, you from the time they born, by the time they get to 21, you can't tell them shit.
Man, you tell somebody they're ugly, I'm not sure they can work on that.
No, you know what I mean? No, I don't mean that you can improve, take a class about being ugly. No, but I'm saying I believe that too many people's thing is I'm perfect because nobody ever told me otherwise. So now as an adult, there are grown-ups who can't handle their boss telling them shit. They'll start crying. So that's come from coaching. Like, I'm all with tough coaching, but like I said, it got a limit because you should care about the person more than the sport. It's a child, man.
Right. Well, I tell Liam, I'm like, dude, look, and he knows because he's got, I mean, he's, we hold him to a high standard academically. We hold him to just, with manners, being a nice person, being a good person, like all that. So, I told him, I said, dude, it's the same thing with baseball. Like, I don't expect you to go out there and never strike out and never make a mistake ever. Like, that's not it. Like, I'll never get mad at you for making an error. I'll never get mad at you for striking out. Like, we'll have a conversation if you are, if it's an effort issue.
That's my thing.
Then we'll have a talk. But like the actual performance on the field, no. Like that's between you and your coach, and that's it. And I stay out of it. And so he understands it. And so like I told him, I said, like he got coach got in his ass a little bit on Thursday's practice. I'm like, and he doesn't. And I told him from the get-go, I said, dude, do never take it personally.
Never.
It's his job to make you better. And so like, you just can't, you just have to just, yes, coach, I got it. I'm gonna be better next time. And you move on. So to me, that's just the best way, Saivion, you got anything on that, man?
I mean, nobody's perfect. That's the thing. The path to perfection is futile because you're never going to get there. Yep. So, I mean, it's just like there's no reason to think that you're going to be perfect or that anybody that you're coaching is going to be perfect. So what you want to do is you want to get the most out of the kid that you can. And you want them to play at their highest level. You know what I'm saying? Like play and learn. That's the biggest thing about coaching, especially at a younger age, is to teach them and to develop them. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They kind of want to skip to the end where, all these rings and win all this stuff. And they just want to skip the development part of it. Like, honestly, FSU's coach, Mike Norvell might be doing that right now, but we're not going to get it. What they want is to develop. What they want is to be taught. That is what kids are doing this for. They want to learn the game. They want to learn the game of baseball. They want to learn the game of football at that age. And if you're able to find that balance between toughness and encouragement, then I mean, that is a great spot to be in. And not a lot of coaches get there.
That's perfect.
Oh, and we've been, this is, our fourth team, trying to find that, and it's not like, and we found it. So like, I already told you, it's like, man, as long as Liam wants to play, we ain't going nowhere. As long as he earns his spot on this team, we're not going anywhere. So, exactly. I mean, but so in my next underrated, this is a little more lighthearted. And it may sound a little odd at first, but this is particularly for the married men. So Mike, you'll understand it if you get there.
All right.
Which I think that maybe in the future at some point.
I'm dying to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. So house chores.
Okay.
Now let me tell you why.
Okay.
So my dad and mom, very, very old school. My dad, he did the yard work for the most part. My mom did the cooking, the cleaning, like all that, right? And it was never a thing. You know, like I said, that was kind of like, you know, the woman had her thing to do, the man had his thing to do. That was that. So now, Mike, you know my wife Amanda, like very, very independent,
yes,
strong-willed. Like she's a type, like if you tell her no, or you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, she'd be like, oh, fucking watch me do that.
Yeah.
And I will do it better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's the Kobe Bryant of wives. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how she is. So like she'll go out and mow the grass before I even know of it. Like I hear the lawnmower going and she's out there mowing the grass. I'm like, all right, you know, so cool. But just doing like, if you just, you know, the dishes need to be done, you need to like you need to clean the bathroom. Something like, if you're a husband and you're a dude, don't wait on them to do it. I promise you, like you will have such a more better relationship in general, because she will appreciate that so much, and it doesn't take that much out of your time, to be honest with you. Like I did it today, for instance, and it took me like 20 minutes in the bathrooms, and to do it pretty well as well. And so like just that, washing the dishes, putting the stuff up, helping. Now there's certain things she doesn't want me to do, like like washing clothes. Like I always mix up what I'm supposed to put in there, and I put like fabric softener on stuff I'm not supposed to put fabric softener on.
Right.
So she's like, just leave me alone. I'll do that. Just don't do that. Don't do that. So that part I'm cool with. Like, but anything else, you know, like just, I'm telling you guys, if that goes such a long, and I'm speaking from almost 20 years of marriage, right? Like that goes such a long, and I didn't know that starting out. This has been learned over time, because like I said, I watched my dad and mom do it a certain way, and that worked for them, you know. So I had to read the room and realize this is not going to work out well for me if I do not compromise a little bit here. So, and now it's cool. I've been doing it for years, and it's good. So yeah, man. So Mike,
so get those chores done. I have to hear your take on that, Saivion. You are married. Is that chores?
So honestly, what we do is there's no like assigned chores. If we see something needs to be done, we just do it. And that's what, I mean, we're only in holy crap, is this year 2? No, it's year 1 still, going into year 2. So we're going into year 2 now. It's like, I mean, we just have we don't have assigned roles. We just kind of look at stuff and we see that needs to get done. And I mean, whatever it is, whether that's dishes, laundry, whatever it is, if we see something needs to get done, we just get it done. We haven't reached that point to where it's like, okay, we need to find, you know, our kind of like our roles, because like what we do best. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't sat down and done that. And that's something that I think we could do. I actually like that. But yeah, I was actually raised in a house where my dad, both my dad, because actually I have a dad and a stepdad, a mom and a stepmom. I was blessed with 4 beautiful parents. Shout out to them. Yeah. I was actually blessed with a household where the dads not only did the stuff outside, but they also did help with the cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. And so they helped with everything in the house, helped with everything outside of the house. And honestly, so did the moms. So yeah, I was kind of born into a household where there is no, you do things that work for your relationship, where like John said, the stuff, the roles that his parents carved out, that worked for them, and roles that they had, that him and his wife have now, they work for them. So just as long as whatever roles you carve out work for whatever relationship you have, and also don't let others dictate
100%.
The relationship dictate what happens in yours, because that does not work.
No, man, you don't want to be like, hey, but man, his wife doesn't make him do anything.
That's gonna backfire.
Oh,
100% of the time.
Can you imagine if I said that?
But his wife, that's the wrong. Don't never start a sentence with "but his wife."
Mike, could you imagine what the blowback would be?
Oh, for you would be going live from a parking lot. Well, it would be nothing behind the walls would be down. Like, I already know. So no, but I'm gonna tell you what it kind of sounds like. That's kind of cool. Is it kind of sound like y'all? I was thinking of Jordan and Scottie Pippen when y'all was talking. Like they didn't. It wasn't I do this and you do this. It was like I fill in where you need me to, and you fill in where I need you to, and it's always live in motion. It isn't set.
Right. No,
Like,
it's like
always live, and I may be sick today, and you might feel good. So
right.
That's kind of cool.
Right. No, it's like what Saivion said, man. Whatever. I'm not saying that's what everybody has to go do. It's like he said, it's whatever works for you. I mean, if it's not what we got going on, that's cool. As long as you understand each other, and it's not it's not like you assume or just expect something to be done because of that reason. Like, as long as y'all on the same page, then great. I think the communication part gets lost a lot, I think, nowadays. So I mean, that's yeah.
I gotta say, this was one of our best Out of Your Falcon Mind podcasts. It really was. It really was. And it ended on a sentimental, on like a Hallmark note.
How about that?
And we could put that into Lifetime. Holler at us. We need a sponsor.
We have not underrated Lifetime yet. So
we have not underrated you yet. So don't make me do it on the next show.
So we'll close it now, man. But first, I guess before we do, guys, if you want to reach out to us as Jackson did with his email, we appreciate it. That's atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Out of Your F in Mind. You can follow us on Instagram, Out of Your Falcon Mind. You can like the Facebook page. We are mostly active on Twitter. We'll eventually get around to some of the other things, but Twitter just seems to be the best medium for us because that's where a lot of fans talk and get together. So we'll keep growing on there. If you're a Falcons fan and follow us, just if we don't follow you back, just hit us up, because I mean we might just missed it. Just be like, hey, asshole, follow me back. I'm a Falcons fan. Okay, we'll do that. Because we want to be, like I said, we want to grow the community and just have more like we talked about earlier, discussion, like actual just not discussion. So yeah, and
y'all can say what y'all want. I'm gonna jump in. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. As far as Falcon podcasts go, there's none like this. We have the coolest community, the coolest guests, the coolest everything. John got a glow in the dark Falcon behind him. Stop. It's beautiful. You've never seen that anywhere. You haven't seen that.
I've been wanting to talk about that this entire time, bro. That looks freaking phenomenal.
Hey, bro, he can change the color on the black. He put it to blue for Matt. Hold on. In tribute of Matty Ice. Oh, look, Saivion, in tribute of Matty. In tribute of Matt, he turned it blue. That's dope. But this was a great one, man. I love it. Out of my Falcon mind, as usual.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, we appreciate everybody for listening, as always. Saivion, man, we cannot thank you enough for coming on, dude.
For sure. Thank you, man. And from supporting from day one, man. I really appreciate it. That Manscaped, since y'all don't know, let me just say real quick. Manscaped, if y'all don't know what that is, I can't tell you. But Manscaped had asked, they tweeted, like, what podcast do you think we should sponsor or whatever? That's dope. He is making it blink blue and red. This is YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. You got to see what John got behind him going on. Yeah. But Manscaped, the company.
I'm gonna play some techno in a few minutes.
Exactly, right? But should have Manscaped, the company had tweeted, like, what podcast do you think we should check out a sponsor? And Saivion went under and he recommended us. So we got to show the love back, man. I really appreciate that. That was so dope. It meant so much to us. So we glad to have you on, man. You've been here for a long time, and we appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all, I mean, when I saw it, you guys are the first podcast that came to mind, because I was like, you guys are just doing this doggone thing. Like you said, there's not another Falcons podcast doing it like y'all are doing it. I mean, y'all are so real. Y'all are so freaking transparent, and it's like Jackson said, man, you guys, the way that y'all bounce off each other back and forth, it makes for unbelievable content. And the way that y'all know the game, and it's so much fun talking ball with y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
For sure.
Absolutely, man. We'll make it a regular occurrence, man.
Yeah, sure. Man, we gotta bring you back now. We gotta bring you back for sure. We gotta make it regular.
Yeah, you already got my number, my email. I am ready. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
I promise we will get your daughter that Falcons onesie. I promise.
Sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Out of your Falcon mind. Y'all check us out.
That's
Go
right.
check out his podcast. Go check out our podcast. Go check out one last thing before we go. John, who is the dude? I'm gonna butcher his name on Twitter. His name is Nick something. Nick Castana something.
Yeah, I don't
His
even
name
know.
is Nick on Twitter. This dude has the greatest Matt Ryan feed. The way he do it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get your name for the next one. Nick. Apologize. His name is Nick, and start with a C. Either Caston. I butcher this dude's name. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Matt Ryan stats.
His whole thread that he started a Matt Ryan thread where everybody was just going in saying he listed Matt Ryan stats, and he let like everybody go, and they added on to it. And this dude is
Was it
okay, I'm wrong. His name is Nick Pentecoff.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, Nick Pentecoff. I've enjoyed that. He's hilarious, man. I thought his Matt Ryan tribute was amazing. I had to say that.
Oh yeah, man.
Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we'll be back next week, guys. Troy might be back. Well, no, actually, Troy's gonna be out of town, so probably just Mike and I again. And getting closer to the draft. We're only a couple weeks away, boys.
Yeah.
See what happened.
Then
Rise up.
then we can actually talk about a team that will be fielding, not just who we think we might be fielding.
Yeah.
The Marvin ATL. Let's do it. Let's go.
There we go.
I'm
All the way from Florida, all the way from Duval, out of your Falcon mind. We even out of our Falcon mind in Duval, man. Come on now. Give us our props.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Kazakhstan or wherever the hell that we got listed.
And wherever that was.
Which is crazy. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, y'all check us out. And Mike, you and I will do the reintroduction of ourselves pretty soon.
Okay.
As we've our listenerships went up, which we greatly appreciate. So like I said, we'll just do a new kind of who we are type of. And Saivion, we are going to steal the SBS. Y'all did the get to know your host. We're definitely stealing that from y'all.
Oh, 100%. It was when we did it, I was like, oh, this is perfect. And we just, it was great. Which, by the way, a gorilla cannot beat a bear. I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that.
I'm with you.
Once a bear hands on a gorilla, is a wrap.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. You seen those claws are like that ain't gonna happen.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Just
bottom line. Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, y'all check us out. Like I said, out of your Falcon mind, and check out SBS Podcast at all the places you normally get your provider, your podcast provider, Spotify, iTunes. Leave them a 5-star review on iTunes, on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify. We'll all shout you out for it. Oh, damn. We did get a 5-star review, and I almost missed it, guys.
Almost missed
so
you.
Let me just end the show on that, because I don't want to say we're going to shout them out and then not shout them out. Right?
Then not shout them out.
That would be just disingenuous of myself. So this is from J Piper 81. Great listen. It's a 5-star review. 2 down-to-earth dudes dishing out dirt about the birds as well as other great sports topics. We appreciate that.
Piper, I love you, buddy. We so appreciate it. 5-star review. He took 2 seconds to do that. So y'all take 2 seconds to go do that as well. We really appreciate it. And it's free.
Yep. Absolutely. So be a good person. Do that.
Be a good boy and run along and remain out of your Falcon mind.
That's right. We out of here.
Peace.